By Appointments Only is coming up in just a couple of weeks, and we wanted to do this episode to be able to give you guys a start of an introduction to the guest and the conversations we're going to be having on here. So first and foremost, Anthony, how you doing today, buddy?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me, Matt. Good to have you here, brother.
Yeah. So I'm super excited. I had an opportunity last year to attend the event as a brand new guest, somebody who came with an open mind, who was hungry to learn, who was fairly new to BDC. And man, I came out of there ready to run with all the knowledge I gained out of there. Luckily, I had a buddy who was kind of holding my hand and kind of introducing me to a lot of the guys and girls out there that were talking. But man, I took a lot of that. For our audience, people who've never been to one of your events, what was the idea behind creating the event? What were you solving for? I'd love to hear that.
Of course. Well, I'm glad that you came last year and you had a good time. So, it's good to have you back again. And honestly, the idea behind By Appointment Only, I was inspired because I was running an offsite BDC called Appointments That Show, and I learned a lot over the years of running the BDC, and I wanted to share that knowledge with the industry. But I didn't want to go out and travel because I'm a dad of two kids that are 6 and 8. And I'm heavily in their lives. And I wanted to bring the industry alongside me, so to speak, meaning I've spoken at a lot of conferences. I've spoken on stages. I've been to a lot of conferences just as a spectator. And I always learn from everybody out there, even my competitors / my peers. And I truly believe that I've probably taken some of their content and kind of repurposed it and reteach it because I believe it works, right? And even if every dealership wanted to hire us all, there's not enough of us to hire. And I really wanted to give different perspectives and say, listen, my way is not the only way. 1 + 1 is not the only way to get to 2. Here's a bunch of different perspectives on best practices, habits, what you should do, when engaging clients, and really give the dealers their choice of a voice. And, this is our third event, and we changed the focus on each event a little bit. And when I went to go back to do this one, I really wanted to kind of change the perspective. And when I was thinking about doing this one, I said, you know what? I've been to a lot of conferences, and I've never been to a conference where we've had the customer's perception, so to speak, given on stage. And I really want to give a customer a voice this time. So I believe, By Appointment Only, yes, I'm going to bring the brightest minds in the industry together. I'm trying to gather the best people that do it when it comes to processes, leadership, discipline, and how, best practices for CRM and everything that entails all the good habits that you need to be successful as a business. But what we're also going to do is we're going to bring real life customers to the stage because I believe that dealers need to hear what really does drive that yes, because what separates me and my business is the hospitality factor. I've come with 20 years of hospitality, and I try to paint a picture that, people don't pay more for the car just because you have the car, just like people didn't pay more for the vodka because I served the vodka. They pay more for the experience that goes along with that purchase, right? So I really want to teach dealers on how to focus on treating people the way we want them to feel, over-deliver on their expectations, and at the end of the day, listen to them, because if we listen to them and ask the right questions, they're going to tell us how to help them to buy. And at the end of the day, that's what we should be doing, helping people. So that's what really drove this.
Okay, it makes total sense. And as I visited last year, one of the things that really stood out to me was the ability for all of the speakers and how close they were. It wasn't competition, it was collaboration.
Yes.
And I think that's something that I saw a lot of people that are not willing or not scared to share what works, share what doesn't work, learn from each other. And even there were people there that in theory are competitors, right? And they might sometimes share the same customers. Man, the amount of collaboration I saw in that. And I could imagine for you as an organizer, the selection of the experts that you have standing at the front of there is a challenging one. Walk me through this year, kind of the overall thought process of who you decided to put up there, with the focus being more on the customer side. It seems like your experts have a little bit of a focus too, a change of focus as well. Talk me through that change and the approach we have of selecting the speakers this year.
So the approach was, it's a little different too, because I have a little bit more control. Usually I had a partner doing this. Unfortunately, they're working on another conference, which is a lot bigger than the one I'm doing right now. And so I have a little bit more freedom to pick the speakers. And the thought process behind this one is I really want people that are going to come in, teach their process or teach their thought process, but in all different aspects. Like we have Tom Stuker, he's the godfather of BDC, right? He's the guy that put BDCs into place. He knows what it takes to put a successful department in place and the accountability that needs to come along with that. So he's going to be a voice on there. I also have Frank Lopes. Frank Lopes is tremendous in starting conversations and bringing uncomfortable conversations to the forefront, asking dealers to think differently, but more importantly, coming in as a coach and mentoring people, because that's what it takes to get yourself to the next level. This is a people business at the end of the day, and happy employees make happy customers. And, they're only going to do a percentage of what you do. So Frank Lopes brings that leadership in. I have somebody like Katie Mayers. Katie Mayers is somebody I've been following for a long time. She's a female entrepreneur who has a tremendous energy online, very contagious, and she focuses on over delivering on the customer experience. She's an author, she's a TEDx speaker, and she's going to come in and teach people on what to focus in on to over deliver on the customer experience, the little things. For instance, instead of saying you're welcome, saying my pleasure, right? Like how to use hospitality in every facet of your business plan and the buying experience. Because if you focus on the hospitality, like to give you an example, I'm not trying to be the best trainer out there, right? Because that could be debated if somebody says Anthony's the best. That's debatable, right? But if somebody says Anthony's my favorite, not debatable, right? I'm their favorite. So that's what I want to teach dealers. I want to be your favorite dealer. Billy is everybody's favorite car salesman, right? Like that's why Billy, who is Billy is, right? He has an energy that's contagious and he brings out the energy in other people. So that's why I brought on Katie Mayers. There's a list of speakers that I can go through, but every speaker that I'm bringing to the stage is going to bring a unique perspective, and it's going to be built around processes, habits, discipline, leadership, because these are all the things that you need to be successful. But the most important conversation I'm excited to bring are real live customers talking about what they like about the car business and what they don't like. I'm going to have industry experts in the audience prepared with questions. I'm going to have questions. We're going to have dealers that have questions. I'm sure Biz going to have questions. And we're going to ask these people, what is it do you like about the car business? Why do you go to places like AutoTrader and TrueCar.com? Why are you going to Carvana before you're coming to us, right? Why are you asking a broker? So these are the things that I want them to talk about. And I think that's going to be the unique difference this year.
Makes total sense. And you mentioned Billy, and Billy is actually our first guest on this series. So we talked, and what you and I decided to do was to put a series together so where we could introduce not just the show, but most importantly the speakers that we're going to have at the show. So this is right now our first episode that we're recording for the audience. And Anthony, I know you said it's important that we had Billy as the first guy that we're showing and we're displaying. So I love to have you talk a little bit about Billy, because it's always easy to have somebody talk about you than it is for you to talk about yourself. So I know that you and I were speaking prior to this, and you had mentioned Billy's story to me, and I think it's really cool. And why the personal connection you have to his story, and why you think the audience will resonate. If you could do a little bit of that and kind of give us a little intro to Billy, and then we can let Billy unleashed on the audience as well.
Absolutely. I mean, hang on. If I'm going to talk to Billy, hang on.
Yeah. Okay.
I'll let Billy.
America.
There we go. All right. So listen, Billy is a friend of mine for a long time. I've known Billy for years. He's been a big supporter in everything I've ever done. We've been friends. We've broken bread. We've hung out together. We've had drinks. He's been to every single one of my events. And I've watched him and his career and the peaks and valleys that he's had. And last year, when we were throwing by appointment only, me and Billy had a conversation, and he ended up attending the event. And we created a relationship that day where he was able to have a conversation. And since that conversation he had that day, I've watched Billy become a whole different version of himself. And I can't be more proud of everything he's becoming. It makes my heart happy when I see him online doing the things that he's doing, breaking the records that they're breaking over there. And I really think it's important that he tells his story about how things changed for him and why they changed for him, to inspire other people in the business to do the same thing. Because it's a hard business to do every day, in and out, right? And you need to be around the right people in the right environment. So Billy knows why I chose him, and I don't want to steal any of his thunder, so I'm going to let him take over.
How you doing?
Go for it, Billy. So tell us, I mean, look, this is, you're the first person we're talking with. We're excited to hear that. At the show, if somebody attends, without giving away your whole spiel, talk, what are they going to get from the time that Billy gets a chance to talk on the stage at him in a couple of weeks?
Energy.
Okay.
Energy. I'm a different breed, man. So I believe you got to be happy. I have a saying, I'm Mr. Always Awesome. You ask me, people that typical saying, how are you? Well, I'm always awesome. And I have a dog that's looking here barking because he sees me getting all excited. So I apologize. It's day off vibes. We broke a record last month. As Anthony said, we've only been in business, as a matter of fact, since July 1st. A lot of what is going down all transpired with Anthony's event. We had the VIP party. I met the owner there. Actually, I met the owner for the first time at his first event. And it's funny when you do what I do online, I don't put out a perception of being unhappy. It's always happy. So they thought I was happy and I wasn't. And they gave me an opportunity to be in a role that I've never really had before. And I have an extremely happy showroom full of energy every day. And they nickname me the closer because I'm gonna find a way to make a deal. I'm an American, not an Americant. We gonna figure out how I'm gonna put you in a car, and you're gonna be high-fiving me, and at the end of it, you're gonna be doing a customer testimonial video, which I have over 2,000, well over, I lost count, of those videos with happy customers after they've either bought off me or my staff.
So when somebody attends the show, what is what is the title or the discussion point of your topic?
My environment changed, and so did I.
Awesome.
I've been back and forth from sales to management to sales, back and forth. I stayed 8 years when I first got into the industry at the same place, so loyalty was never an issue. But you start to find, at least I did, you really gotta change your environment for people to see your value. And what I bring to the table is definitely different. You have to have buy-in. And I finally found an owner who 100, I am very customer centric, right? If a customer's not happy, I'll tell you, I want to take the car back. I only sell cars to happy people. 2 times over this holiday weekend, I looked the customer in the face and said, "I'm sorry, sir, you're not happy. We can't do business. I can't sell you a car. You're not happy." And we ended up making the deals and they became happy and smiled. But the point of the matter is, like, I want a happy showroom and the owner is giving me that. So I'm going to talk about the perseverance, right? Even when it's tough, right? If you just stay the course and act as you're trying to be in the position you want, not the position you have. So at my last job, I was a hybrid manager, but it was just by title. Like I didn't have the authority that I have here, where I call it the power of the pen. You have an unhappy customer, I got to sign off. I sign off. I got to get behind the desk and desk a deal. Like I do it. These are all things I never had the ability to do. And the Sansones trust me. Like we broke this right. So we have an ongoing joke, and then I'll let you talk, right? When the owner goes away, we break records. We had our single day, our 2 biggest days so far in our industry, in our dealership's history, have been when the owner went away on vacation. And we're very proud of that. Because he trusts us, and he goes away the last day of the month.
You should be, man. I saw. I think it was a quote the other day that if you're a business owner and you're still in the business, you don't have a business. And until you've got a team around you that can run the business without you needing to overlook every part of it, you need to work on your actual business. And Billy, I'm excited to hear that part because, man, I could tell you, and I'm sure that average listener has all experienced exactly what you did. There's places I was at earlier in my career where the setting was not conducive of me being able to be the truest version and the most optimized version of myself. And it's funny because the place I went directly after that was the place that I made my whole career by. And it wasn't a difference in me. I didn't all of a sudden become a significantly better employee. The setting did that. And I think so often we see people probably spin their wheels too long because of this thing called loyalty. And they're in a place where they're not serving themselves or the company they're at because they're not in the environment that is going to be the most conducive for that. So I think that's a great topic to discuss. I'm excited to hear you talk about it because I've lived it. Anthony, I'm sure you've lived it. And I'm sure you probably see a lot of you through Billy. And I can tell you I do as well.
100%.
All right. So, we're going to talk about the experience in the dealership, the process, the change of scenery, change that. Now, from you, Anthony, what else did you anticipate? Because I think I know the answers, but putting Billy in front of this audience, what else do you think Billy's going to give the team or the viewers, the audience that he hasn't talked about yet?
I really think he's gonna give them the buy-in to being your 100% authentic self. and living that out, right? Because not many people can push through every single day when you don't get results every day. And I've watched Billy for a long time, and these past 7 months have been nothing but awesome to watch, because all the fruits of his labor are coming to pair right now, right? I mean, I've watched him grind, and we've had conversations where he wasn't the happiest person for a while, right? And we've all been there. So to see everything now, to see the energy, I really think what he's going to give the audience is just a true version of himself, which hopefully is contagious, because I believe energy is contagious. I need some of the sales professionals that I'm going to put in the audience, and some of the BDC professionals that aren't management people yet. I need to show them somebody I know that's right in their backyard, right? That did it. Right? He's done it. He's been through the grind every single day. And because he believed in himself and he found the right home, because he found the right environment, everything changed. And that's what I really think. That's what I think people are going to really get out of it.
Man, I'm excited about it. So, Anthony, just for the audience, just to kind of lay the framework, because this is our first episode. When is the event? Where is the event? If somebody wants to come, what do they need to do? Walk us through that process.
100%. So the name of the event is called By Appointment Only, Volume 4, Behind the Yes. The customer is the curriculum. It's going to be hosted at Bellworks in Homedale, New Jersey on July 8th, 2026. Registration starts at 8 a.m. to check in, and the first speaker will go on at 9 a.m. The event will end between 5:30 and 6 p.m., and then we will have an after VIP networking party to be announced on June 8th, which will start between 7 and 7:30 p.m., which is full open bar, food, entertainment, and lots of hospitality. My personal goal, coming from the hospitality industry, and what I really want everybody to take out of this is, yes, I want everybody to get the good habits. I want everybody to get the stories like Billy. I want everybody to get the customer's perspective. But what I really want everybody to do is pay attention to the hospitality, because my goal is to provide hospitality on a level that you guys haven't experienced yet. And I'm not this big conference that have these big budgets, but I don't believe that resources are necessarily the biggest obstacle. As long as you know how to be resourceful, that could overcome a lot of challenges. So my personal goal for everybody in this conference is to feel the hospitality that's going to be involved. And I want you to take that same hospitality that you feel and transfer it to your customers.
So I got something for you, bro, for this hospitality. I'm gonna give you all a little something. So you want to know something? I told my team, and I did it in a one-on-one session so they could understand the why. So what I've just put into play, and you're talking hospitality. That's why I'm telling you this story.
I love
After
this.
you sell the car, right? About an hour and a half, depending on where they live, you're gonna call that customer and say this: I just wanted to make sure you got home okay.
Yes.
All right. And the
100%.
reason, and here's why, right? Who always asks you that question? Your
Right.
mom, your dad, when you're leaving call me when you get home. So it's basically just another extension of me welcoming them into my family.
100%.
So I'm very proud of that. I did steal it
Should
from a
be.
ninja in the industry, and I can't wait to see the effect that it has on our client base.
Right. I think that's an amazing touch point that you do right there. Seriously. I mean, you get it, bro. You're a people person.
So you just said I stole this from somebody else in the industry. And one of the things I think that people are going to be able to get out of your event that you didn't mention, Anthony, and I think is probably the most important thing I get out of events like this, because I've been to the NADAs, I've been to the digital dealers. Those are so big, they're almost daunting. The size of this event and the ability for you to actually make connections and network is something that I think is probably as important as the content you're going to gain, to be in a room with people that have done the things that Anthony and Billy and all these other impressive people have done, and the chance to be able to go to that VIP party and shake hands and make a connection. That's something that's almost impossible at these big events that you can absolutely do here. And I know that for me, the amount of relationships I built coming out of your event last year has been game changer for my business. And I've, luckily that I had the opportunity to meet you. there at the event last year. All right, Billy, any final words before we go?
Yeah, man. Absolutely. So on top of the energy, the other thing that's gotten me, I believe, is consistency. Found so everyone's got to find what works for them. And for me, I found this every morning. It's kind of like a live podcast. It's called Clubhouse. We have a room called All Things Car Biz. And through sheer tenacity and showing up 6 days a week at 6:45, I've now become, I would say, a pretty intricate part of their society. And this energy is what I bring to them every morning. And what they bring to me are all these ideas. So you can't really reinvent the wheel. Somebody's already done it. Find what's going to work for you and just try it. And I'm blessed to have an owner that allows me to try things that might be outside the box. And we are like social media and advertising. I can't wait to share this idea that I'm doing for advertising for July around the bicentennial. I'll leave it at that. But it's really freaking awesome that they're like, damn, Billy, that's great. So find your people that trust you, but in the same time, right, give them a reason to trust you. And I know that my owners can go to Italy and know BillySherm and his partners are holding down the squad. And I treat that place like it's my own. I treat it like it's my home. And hopefully people that listen to me talk understand that if you want to get to that place, act like you already have that title you're reaching for. And you might get recognized and seen.
Billy, your energy is infectious. It's undeniable. I can 100% see why Anthony wanted you to be a speaker. Anthony, any final words before we go?
No, listen, I'm excited to have both you gentlemen there. I'm glad you brought up the point about the VIP networking. I really pride myself in that event to try to get people to actually sit down, break bread, and understand it's easier to collaborate than it is to compete, right? And there's enough for everybody out there. So I'm glad that we got this this first podcast done. I'm looking forward to the rest. I'm looking forward to seeing Billy on stage and Matt seeing you at the event as well, my friend.
Absolutely.
Yo, I'm going to drop it with this too. I work at my job where I changed my life and doubled my income because of the VIP event at Anthony's event last year. I'm just saying. So in less than a year, I have done, and I was already a six-figure earner, guys. So you know what I'm saying? Like I literally doubled my income because I went to that event and I literally gave them everything I freaking promised. And I promise you on the stage, if you show up and come and listen, I'm going to give you that fire and you're going to leave inspired to achieve something that maybe you didn't know you could. Because I did it. And if I could do it, you could do it.
Let's go.
For everybody watching, there you go. There's no reason for you not to get your ticket, both to the event and to the VIP. Billy has put his guarantee on it. Everybody else, have a great day. Until next time, we'll see you out there in July.
Take care, guys.
Hasta la vista.